Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another beer review. Tonight's beer, we're going back to Iceland. We're going for another beer by Einstok, and we're going for the Icelandic Pale Ale. I've already spoken about Einstok before. I've spoken about my love for Iceland, how amazing and cool a country it is. If you have the chance to go, then go. It is the most naturally beautiful place I've ever been. People are amazing. The population is less than the city I live in. But it just feels so alive and vibrant, and the culture, the nature, the activities, the city, everything is buzzing that place, including the breweries. This is from Akureyri, I think. I can never remember how to pronounce it. If you're Icelandic, tell me how to pronounce it. It's not how you would think it's pronounced. It's spelled Akureyri, but it's Akureyri, something like that. So without further ado, let's pop it open. We like the other one, the white ale that they've done, because it is Icelandic water is just naturally filtered through the volcanic rock, so it's a very pure and clean water. Probably lends itself quite well to a lager style beer as well, and in fact the temperature would as well in the winter. But that's an aside. So this is a pale ale by them. I'm expecting good things because the water should really let the hoppy flavours come through. I mean, water plays such a big role in beer, so much so that Burton Huntred beers, Burton beers, you Burtonise water to try and get it heavier and thicker, so it works for an English ale. There's loads of famous English breweries that come from that area that all use that water. So out of the glass, it's actually quite a deep, it's a deep amber colour, but there's a tinge of red. It's just bordering on being like a burnt orange, almost red colour coming through. Absolute massive amounts of carbonation going on right in the middle of the glass. You might just be able to see it's bubbling like crazy. Not much on the sides. There is barely any head at all. There's not much in the way of head retention. Being a northerner, being a Yorkshireman, this would normally bother me, but head's just a head. It just captures the aroma. I'm not too worried about that. I mean, it's got good level of carbonation, so I'm pretty sure it's been alright. It is clear as the night. It's a little bit chilled, this one, so there's a tiny bit of chill haze, but that's just because it's been in my fridge. It's still clear as anything. There's no residue of sediment. So let's get our nose in there and give it a smell. Ooh, there's actually quite a lot of caramel and malty notes on the nose, biscuity and caramel and a tiny bit of toffee, something just a little bit more darker sugar smells. But alongside that is that wonderful tropical, it's like a tropical bouquet. It's a bit sweeter and a bit more exotic smelling than kind of a normal citrus grapefruit smell. At least that's what I'm getting. But overall it feels very, and I was expecting this as well, it smells very clean cut. It smells very distinct. It doesn't smell muddled or mixed. And I'll probably link it back to the water supply, because it's such a pure and filtered water. There doesn't seem to be any off smells in it. It's been very nice and direct, and the flavours are really like, this is a flavour, this is a flavour, and this is a flavour. Sorry, I should say aroma. This is an aroma, this is an aroma, and this is an aroma. And it smells juicy. It just smells alive. It smells absolutely fantastic. So, without further ado, cheers guys, let's get into Einstok's Icelandic Pale Ale. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's super refreshing. Absolutely, wonderfully super refreshing. The mouthfeel and body on this and carbonation is just spot on for a beer that is designed to be refreshing and fruity. It's just the right level of moisture, just the right level of carbonation to make it unbelievably easily drinkable. The initial onrush of flavour is a very nice caramelly body. Malty taste. It's very caramelly, very sweet and sugary in that respect, and a tiny bit of biscuit as well coming through a bit after in some of the aftertaste, and then that biscuit and caramel kind of nicely transitions to a very pleasant bitterness, not too bitter, so it's not pushing the boundaries into an IPA, but very pleasant. And those little citrusy and hoppy notes come through towards the end. Now pale ales are synonymous around the world. You know, they're ubiquitous. They're everywhere, and everyone has a pale ale. and everyone does their own take on the beers. So I could talk about the merits of this beer until the cows come home. It's very pleasant, and I'd certainly have more of them. But I'll have to compare them to other beers I've had in the pale ale category to be able to give it a good, really good review on it. Now, compared to other beers, I would probably say the caramelly sweetness is perhaps a little bit too much. There is like almost like there's residual sugar left in it, and a kind of sweet flavour on the tongue, the sort of thing you'd get after you've perhaps had a little bit too much chocolate or something, or just a little bit of extra sugar in the back of the mouth, almost like a sugary cup of tea if you're English, so you know, you'll understand, or a sugary coffee, I guess. There's a little bit of residual sugar in the mouth. That's not as... and it tastes like sugar. It doesn't taste like a malty flavour, it tastes more like sugar. And I would say that the citrus flavours aren't coming through, the hoppy notes and characters aren't coming through as well in this pale ale as I've tried in other pale ales. This is clutching at straws. This is just trying to rank it inside other pale ales that I've had. It's quite. I think it's probably like a 7.5. It's a very good beer, and I enjoy it greatly. But it doesn't rank up there with the groundbreaking beers that I've had. It has had a really distinct aroma. It was very nice. It smelled like it was going to be this, this, and this. And when the flavours come through, it's distinctly this, this, and this. But that also means it lacks a bit of complexity in its flavours. It's so clear-cut almost that it's lost a bit of character. And again, clutching at straws because it's fantastic. It's a very nice beer. But I think 7.5 is quite fair. It's a good beer, and I really recommend you go out and try anything by Einstok. I love Iceland, and I like Icelandic beer. It was one of those first places where I went, and when I was really into craft ale, and I deliberately went to breweries and tried beer from these breweries, straight from the... I say breweries a lot of times, but straight from the brewery, and met the people who are in charge, the brewers who make these beers, and seen the passion and how much they love doing what they do. So by no means is this a bad beer, but it doesn't rank up there as strongly as other pale ales I've had. It's gonna be really nice. It's perfect for the weather that we've got at the moment, nice and sunny. So, like, comment, favourite, subscribe. Same as always. Tell me what you think if you've tried this beer before, if you've ever tried anything by Einstok or by Borg Brewery, Borg Brewhouse, or I can't remember the name of the other one, but Master of the Hobbits did a review on it. I think it was Volcano beer, something like that, and he said that's absolutely fantastic. So that's another one to look out for. Borg on my favourite, well, probably my favourite one that I found one is Iceland. And they're actually a subsidiary of the major big brewery company, Ekki Skallagrimsson, or something along those lines. Typically Icelandic name, I know. So yeah, tell me what you think if you've tried it, and I shall see you all again on the next beer review. Cheers.